Hello there, geek side of the internet. We are the Marvellous, otherwise known as Johnny.
And Ryan. Now you might be wondering why the two of us are creating a YouTube channel this late in the game with so many other comic and gaming channels already established.
You see here, the reason why we are creating this channel is to give a voice to the younger generation of comic book fans. That said, we know that there is a long lineage and history involved with comics themselves.
We're all for updating and modernizing what's been established, but we still love our classic characters. For example, we do love Miles Morales.
But we hate our Rick Grayson.
We're here for big stories and arcs like Marvel's No Surrender and DC's Eternal, but not confusing and complicated events like Civil War or Future's End.
We're all for the industry respecting their fan base with amazing one-shots like Rebirth, but we're less fond of annoying delays and story changes while a series is still being released. I'm looking at you there, Doomsday Clock. On the channel, we'll probably be talking about comic books and graphic novels, most of the focus going to Marvel and DC.
That being said, there's more than a couple independent publishers and works out there that we'd love to discuss. We always want to support the independent creators. They deserve the love, respect, and recognition of the comic society too. I mean, look at Buzzkill, Fables, and Nailbiter.
We've got some pretty varied views and perspectives between the two of us alone, and we'd like to think that we'll get some interesting arguments out of it. Me being the diehard Marvel master, and Ryan being the dedicated DC Comics consumer. Suffice to say, we should have all of our bases covered.
Now, since comics come out on a weekly basis, we'll be doing monthly comic book reviews on what we read. This is mostly due to the market being filled to the brim with content that we sadly won't always be able to cover.
We'll give individual video highlights though to the bigger events and stories that feel noteworthy from past, present, and future. Since we're still relatively young comic book readers, we haven't necessarily gone to everything that we should or might even want to read. So hopefully we'll be able to give new opinions and different views on those older stories as well.
We'd love to discuss the state of the comic book industry and talk about the characters within it. We have a few fun segments on those topics saved for later, but for now we're very excited to introduce one of the first ones you'll see on the channel. A character rebirth series of sorts where we discuss our personal opinions of changes that can be made to established characters and how they can be made more popular and relevant in today's culture.
Another video that you'll see us release is one that I like to call Storytime Time Travel. Videos where we'll just discuss the completed stories that are already released and that we just want to put a light on. These are just some of the few ideas that we have, and trust me when I say that we've got much more content coming out within the future.
Now speaking of more content, beyond comics, we will stream and post us playing games on our channel and any other platforms we can figure out. And like we plan to do with the comics themselves, we will definitely be putting out videos that share our thoughts on the games we play. We have amazing ideas planned for the gaming side of our channel that we are going to love doing when we've built up a large enough audience. If you like the idea of pushing ourselves to our absolute limits of our gaming capabilities, then be sure to stick around.
We've also definitely got plans to review movies, TV shows, both new and old. You can 100% guarantee that we'll review things like Iron Man,
The Nolan Trilogy,
the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy. That's going to be a fun little video there to say the least.
Don't forget Batman the Animated Series.
And as well as movies coming out within the near future like Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Shazam. One of our long-term goals regarding this kind of stuff is a video that I'm really excited to do. It's one that I call the Ultimate MCU Ranking. A video where I plan on ranking every piece of content within the MCU itself. It ranges from the Netflix shows, Hulu, Freeform, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the future Disney Plus shows that are going to come out. And don't be worried, it's definitely going to include the movies.
Now, you might be wondering why we have chosen to call ourselves the Marvellous. The most obvious reason is because Captain Marvel is a title used by both DC and Marvel respectively. But beyond that, we call ourselves the Marvellous because the name represents both ends. Whether we're talking about the man and kid who says Shazam,
or the cosmic level badass, both use that title to take on something more than just themselves. An idea that we want to represent and set as a standard for this channel.
We want this channel to grow beyond just the two of us, like these names have to other characters.
We want to bring in our friends into the fold because we believe everyone offers an interesting point of view. We want to interact with the geek side as well, who might share
or disagree with
our opinions.
How else are we supposed to grow without a bit of resistance? We respect the fact that other people have their opinions and that they may differ from our own.
We never want the geek side community to be at each other's throat though. But nothing really makes you contemplate your thinking than a little bit of opposition.
We know for a fact that our opinions will definitely not always match up with other people's.
Example, I really like Secret Empire and I love Carol Danvers as Cat Marvel, but I know that not everyone's going to agree with me on that.
We hope that this video has been an informative insight to who we are and what this channel is going to be about. Our dreams for this channel is for it to be something that can bring the nerds out of modern culture together, somewhere we can have civil discussions to make us all grow as individuals and in the industry.
So if you like what we have to offer, please subscribe and comment any questions you might have below. I promise I'll read them and get back to you as soon as possible. But with all your help, hopefully one day this channel will really become something marvelous. That concludes the video for today, and you can be sure to be hearing from us soon. Have a great day, guys.